and it's another good energy. Kickstart.
KOIKIMEDIA, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. KOIKIMEDIA, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. KOIKIMEDIA, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. I was a lot of àwa ló láṣà àti èdè gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o àwa gangan ni bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. They never sabi wetin we carry for her, but e dey move closer before dem go sabi. I said they never know wetin we carry for body, but e dey move closer before dem go sabi. Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ ìhun ló ló lajú. Ẹyẹ tó kọrí kótó bí àdó ọgbẹ́jẹ lẹ́nu. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Kájùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kó Odùduwà ga. Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣègìrì. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí. Káwa lè gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ tí yóò tàn káàkiri. Ìyàmọ̀ Odùduwà ni wá. KOIKIMEDIA, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Ètò tó kójú owó ìwà mọ́ni. Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà kájé gbúgbà yín jẹ. Ètò tó kójú owó ìwà mọ́ni. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ. Ètò tó kójú owó ìwà mọ́ni. News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó kójú owó ìwà mọ́ni. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa gé tantan. KOIKIMEDIA ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjèjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́kun pọ̀ sí o. KOIKIMEDIA sáwa ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrè gidi. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ikú tó ṣe bí lédè òsì, àdìmú bàbá yọ. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. We bring you one closer to your doorstep. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó fẹ́ o tó kàn ní oko lára ni. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà ni wá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Odùduwà la gbé dání, òtítọ́ la gbé dání. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àkìsọ̀dálẹ̀, àkìsọ̀díkẹta. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àdúró tán, àtúnpèrè kéde. KOIKIMEDIA, we bring you one closer to your doorstep. KOIKIMEDIA is around to give us latest. Is around to give us latest. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, KOIKIMEDIA is around to give us latest.
And a very good morning and welcome once again to our transmission. It is just coming up to 20 minutes past 9 a.m. It is Monday. Amakbini Ojuaje. Advantage of having a country as against what we have right now. I welcome you and I say good morning. Sit back and let's prepare for the morning program. Now let's start back because that was too fast. I say good morning once again. Àti wà nínú lecture room mọ́. Ẹ lọ bá pa àwọn èèyàn wá. Ẹ ti wá gbọ́ advantage. Èyí tí wọ́n rò yí ẹ̀ olúwo bá ń lo kókó sẹ́. Sunday máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọ ìbò ṣàṣẹ́bẹ̀ lọ wà. Ọ̀gá máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè ọba òkúta. Tí ọba ti tàbí ìwèrè pọ́jọ́ òní ó tó pé ńkọ́ kí lọ fẹ́ wá láàrin àwọn ọmọ adarí òun gan. Tàbí tí ọba ti tàbí bí ọmọ láàrin ìpẹ́ kí lọ máa ṣẹ̀dá òkè yọ. Ọjọ́ máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alágbẹ̀dẹ àyànmọ́ ọba tó fi ọ́ dára tó dùn. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o, ìwọ náà kọ́ Olódùmarè ọba ní tí o láwùjẹ. Ẹ̀sẹ̀ wọn dúpẹ́ o. Sunday o. Wọn ò lè mí mọ́ o ti kó wọn láyà jẹ́ kó lè sókè ọ̀sẹ̀ rúbà wọn ọjà wọn láyà wọn ò lè mí fín mọ́ o ti fi ògbójú láfọ́ igbá ooru ní èyẹ dànù. Wọn máa dé wọn máa fọ́ àwọn ọba tiẹ̀ ọmọ ọkọ lóògùn ọmọ àlè ìwọ náà bí bàbá dojú dé àfihàn bí ọba ṣe sí ẹjẹ afọ kí ni ń bẹ nínú ọ̀gán ọmọdé yẹn mo ti dùn mọ̀ọ́rù bí ọ̀pá ni kò pa ni bí ọba ní pa ni kò dùn mọ̀ọ́rù. Sunday ọmọdé yẹn kù ó ti di bí àlọ́ yìí ẹjẹ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mú ewé kókò tó bá lè bí ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ fọ̀yà kọ́ máa fọ̀yà pèrègbèdè sàǹgbọ́rọ̀ máa fọ́kù ẹni ọba wọ bẹ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti di bí àlọ́ yìí káfíńtì wo ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ìgbó òòṣà yéé ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ọmọ ọkọ ní ọ̀hún ṣéwù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́mọ ọkọ ṣe ìwọ lọ́pàá nípa ìsìn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọ̀pá gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn ọ̀pá abúlé nípa ọ̀pá ìgbà tó ló pọ̀ ya onítọ̀ ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ Sunday go sa ọlá bàbá rẹ lọ òròlú ọmọ tẹlá ọlẹ́nilé mo sùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ọmọ àjàkú yẹn dìyẹ sílẹ̀ bàbá rẹ mo délùú mọ́tà àárín òde wọ́n di méjì bá rẹ̀ ta àwọn méjì bá rẹ̀ tàgàdà yín ó di méjì bá rẹ̀ gbẹ̀dínlógún ó kan ní àárọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní kókó ilé wa tàgàdà nínú bí àwọn rẹ̀ ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́kọ̀ ní sọ́wọ́ akọ̀níṣẹ́ ọlọ́kọ̀ ní sí ìgbàlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ yé Sunday ògbó sàmà tó ogun níná ni lógun ogun níná ni lógun ogun ló ní ilé àárọ̀ ogun ni wọ́n fi jagun yé gbẹ́wọ́n jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ̀ yìí ẹjẹ́ nínú wọn lógun òní Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho sà lónìí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gbòmìnira dandan ni wọ́n wá gbọ́ o àṣẹ ìlànà Olódùmarè ni wọ́n máa lò ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o dápọ̀ làwọn oníṣẹ́ ẹbí ẹ̀tọ́ kálukú má fi dùn wọ́n orí kálukú ló gbé ọdẹ kò tó dùn wọ́n máa gbọ́ o gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà ń tẹ́wá lóye ẹja fọwọ́pọ̀ ká gbé ẹni tó lúwa fi sẹ́ ká gbé lárugẹ gidi ni ẹ̀mí jù ọ́ wọn ò dùn ẹjọ́ orodò lọ sí ìbá méjì kọ́ o ẹni tó lúwa fi sẹ́rán ọgàtọ̀ sí ẹni tó fi ra wọn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọmọdé kọlá tiwa akọni tiwa akọni jagunjagun ọkùnrin tààrà rọpòdọkẹlẹ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ wọn máa gbọ́n fẹ́ sàgbà kan fún wọn ni ẹni tó bá ní kó ògùn ní kékeré kó máa fọwọ́ ara wọn síra wọn ẹsẹ̀ ní kàkọ́ máa ṣe ara ìdókò dànù ìmọ̀jọ́ ayé pọ̀ ní kú lọ́wọ́ ọmọ wá kékeré tó kékeré ìdáhọ́ inú ọmọ gbẹ̀yìn agbẹ̀dẹ òsì bàtàrí òní gbúrú òdòkó tẹ̀ máa gbọ́ àwọn bàbá rẹ tó ti wà níbùgbé ìdájọ́ wọn àmọ́ fọwọ́ tí ọ gẹ́gẹ́ ni àwọn alágbára jagun tí wọ́n lè jagun ṣáájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n mọ fi ọtí ọ̀gbẹ́ni kó o dúwà ọlọ́fin ọba àtàlà bàṣọ̀run àjàká àjàngà tílẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́fọ̀ fẹ́rí lánàfọ́kúnlá òun lẹ̀ mẹ́rú ọmọdé kò ní ìsábà aborílá aborí kòkó alùpùpù àbá àkútù ògèdè ìgbé ẹgbẹ́gbùngbùrù olè jẹ́sà Ṣàngó. Gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ ń bọ̀ sọ̀kọ́ tí mo gùn làyà wáyé náà ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ Ìgbòho Ṣàngó ló ti rí gbèdú tiẹ̀ ṣe ọ̀gbárùgbọ́ alárúgbó onúgbòlò rẹ̀ jó ògùn lẹ̀yà ọ̀sẹ̀ pààyàn rí kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń de bàbá rẹ lọ òrùkàtàrí gbàgbà kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń de bàbá rẹ lọ alárúgbó parúgbó Sunday ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ ní oṣù olùgbòde gbangba Sunday ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ ó ti di gbogbo ọdún ó ti wà lókè ẹ̀ ní ẹ bá ní ọjà kọ́kọ́ máa kú ni máa gbọ́ tó orí bẹ̀rù ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́ orí ní gbogbo fùlùfùlù labalábá tí wọ́n ń dìbò lẹ́nu Sunday ọmọdé yẹn mọ́ Ìgbòho Ṣà orí bí wọ́n ti ń wọṣọ àkísà máa gbọ́ yẹ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà tó bá lóye akọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́n ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní ẹja fọwọ́tì yìí débi tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹja fọ tẹ́lẹ̀ èmi ju ìwọ òjò mi kò lè gbé wa débi kankan pa akọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́n ẹja pàwọ́pọ̀ ká bí ẹni tó lu wọ́pá fi sẹ́ni lárugẹ ni ẹ máa gbọ́ oyin bọ́ ní ẹsẹ̀ wọn máa fara òní ni igi igbó sórí pọ̀ wọ́n dìgbẹ́ ẹ̀rí ni àwọn àgbàlagbà wọ́n ní bí orí bá dúró tọrùn inú déyìn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ gan ni Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ máa bá òótọ́ òní ọjọ́ burúkú tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí wọ́n ṣerú ẹ̀ wọn ò lè mú jẹ́ má ṣe pé ṣùgbọ́n nu rẹ̀ gbogbo tó ọba àtúpadà bọ̀ ìmọ́lẹ̀ thank you àrò ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ gbogbo tó ọba ti gbẹ àrò ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó mú kọ́jọ́ ò ní wáyé má ṣe pé o ṣùgbọ́n má jẹnu rẹ̀ ó gbófo gbogbo tó ọba pátápátá àrò ní ọmọ àrọ̀ mọ́ orí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa fèyí ṣe lọ́lé wa kì í ṣe é mọ̀ wọ́n lè bí ilé rẹ̀ wípé ìtàlọ́kùnrin ìwòtọ́ lápẹ̀rẹ̀ lágbájá ní tàmẹ́dọ́ ní ìmọ̀lẹ́ akéwìrì ọmọ wọn lọ́gbọ̀mọ̀ṣọ́ àjílété mọ́bólúwa mi dúpẹ́ mọ́ bẹ̀rù àgbà.
mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan so I say a very good morning and welcome to our transmission and I say as we prepare the program we have at least about an hour for the lecture room this morning. Take a look on the topic morning. It's all about advantage. What has been the advantage of Nigeria and why should we ask for Nigeria to dissolve? Many Nigerians do not agree with us, but in the interest of the individuals that are still hoping that Nigeria is a country, it's a very, very important week. Nnamdi Kanu will be returning back to the court. We'll be monitoring that and we hope justice for Nnamdi Kanu will happen this week. Let's kickstart with this. A very good morning. We'll come back again.
ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àti ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àtìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò síná ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho áfíkọ̀ pọ̀kọ́ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàràmùjẹ́ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ń kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Bọ́dá Island àgbà navy blue child jágámọ̀ lọ́sí Ìgbòho ìgbò wọ́n gbé tí wà confused the land is too much 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 jágámọ̀ let's go. Bọ́dá Island àgbà navy blue child jágámọ̀ lọ́sí Ìgbòho.
You don't see Igboho. How many people don't see Igboho? A very good morning and welcome as we prepare to take you through another discussion. When you attend university, polytechnic, if you attend a training school, you'll be given a syllabus or you'll be given a work pattern of what you're going to learn. What we are doing when it comes to this agitation is to first and foremost highlight all the reasons why the Yoruba people must have nothing to do with Nigeria moving forward. This is the reason why we are doing what we are doing, in case some of you are not aware. So, tó bá fẹ́ lálùbáríkà, wá lọ gbàdúrà, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. But wọ́n ní work without action. Ó dàbí pé ká máa ní Ọlọ́run fún wa ní Yoruba nation. Ọlọ́run fún wa ní Yoruba nation. And we are not doing anything. Let's first listen again to this, as we do all the time, and then again is Allah.
Work without action.
This is not what I want to
You
say.
are not aware. So
let me say good morning and welcome to my program.
What we are doing when it comes to this agitation,
what many of you
is to first and foremost.
No, that is not what we are playing. I want to first highlight these because it is important that we play these most of the time now, just to let you know that we have just one leader, and that leader is Professor Banji Akintoye. Let's hear him speaking in 2019, how this journey began.
The Yoruba-speaking tribe of Nigeria has been accepted as the 45th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization. Leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, says the membership represents a very important step in the collective quest of well-meaning Yoruba people to achieve the goal of dignity and self-determination.
It is my great pleasure and pride to inform you that the Yoruba nation has been admitted to the membership of UNPO. UNPO means Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, with its headquarters in The Hague. The UNPO expressed their gladness to welcome the Yoruba nation as a new member of UNPO, and they are looking forward to working with us. It is important because it is a great stride, and it represents a very important step in our collective quest to achieve the goal of dignity in the country in which we live, and also to achieve the goal of self-determination for our nation. Our Yoruba nation now has a voice on the international stage via the machinery of the UNPO, which maintains a permanent presence before the United Nations and before other international agencies like the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and the governments of various other countries across the world.
And that was Professor Banji Akintoye speaking just about almost 3 years ago. This morning, mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa kí ni àǹfààní advantage of a country. Mo kí àwa Grace Olúṣòótọ́, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa from around the world. As you can see, I decided to give us a different view because we normally give you that view. So I thought this morning, okay, maybe we should give you this view. This is my own private kitchen. It's nothing fantastic. It's just a basic kitchen. So don't look at it as, ọmọ tó wà ní London yìí àti America yìí ọkàn máa ń tẹ̀sí wa lójú ni. There's nothing special níbí báyìí. If Nigeria was truly meant to work, an average Nigerian should also be able to live at least to your own standard. Tó bá fẹ́ live large, wàá lọ fi apákúmọ́kù iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó ń ṣe wàhálà lénìí nílùú tí wọ́n ń pè ní Nàìjíríà, a rí àṣeyọrí wàhálà yẹn nítorí pé Nigeria is not working as a country. It has nothing to do with the leadership. Ẹ má ẹ̀kọ́ parọ́ fún yín pé it's the leadership problem. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one leader, but is not going to deliver to protect you and to give you the advantage of what a country is. Nigeria itself is not a country. We've talked about it and we will continue to highlight it. Mokiba Bawa Samson Adekunle, good morning. You say, Mr. Koiki, I missed your program for many days now. Well done. Eshegoni, I know some of you have been busy. Christmas is coming. For those of us that are celebrating it, do not condemn any religion. Just let us focus on the real conversation. The real conversation is that there is a danger now in the Yoruba land. There is a danger for every single one of us. Mokiba, I won't have the time to be calling out because of my time constraint. My job is to remind many Nigerians that the future that you are expecting in a country as an advantage is not going to happen should we not say enough is enough. Nigeria is no longer a country that we can appreciate. Good morning to you, Ogumola, and once again, good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. First and foremost, let me say once again, thank you so much to everyone that responded for the quick 48 hours support for Oloye Igboho on KOIKIMEDIA platform. We like to appreciate every single one that not donated and those that actually did as well. So I will be just saying thank you so much once again to Mrs. Comfort Ologunja, Egbomi Yemi Fatuke. You actually resend another money. I know maybe it's for my personal self, but I say thank you so much as well. We appreciate everyone, and we will continue to appreciate you. I see your video today. It's like 15-year girl passed. I see your video. It is today news. 15-year girl. I don't get that message. Ever me rephrase it. So, but anyway, let's move forward because of our time constraint, and I'm working with time because time na money, oh, time na money. Talo no theory here. No mago, pake, no puku. This platform is a platform that educates Nigerians on the reason why we, the Yorubas, we are not interested in that contraction called Nigeria anymore. What are the advantages of having our own independent country? Is always the discussion. Key advantage. Omo Yoruba niwa, we are proud. And if you love the kind of outfit, these are designed by Omoluabi Apparel. I will not send it see me. I will not send delay. My name is Mr. Koiki. Let us keep you going because we appreciate the work that you're doing as you continue to educate yourself and likewise many Nigerians. Many Nigerians will always say, I am a proud Nigerian. There's nothing called Nigeria to be proud of. There is nothing to be proud of Nigeria because it does not have what it takes, the prerequisite, to be called a country. Nigeria is not a country, and we will continue to highlight that to say it as it is. You don't have to agree with us, but one thing I can say is that what will be the advantage if many countries pull out of Nigeria, like the Arewa nation? What kind of relationship can we have? As an Arewa nation, we can literally play football with the Arewa country. That means that the reason why you are struggling as Omo Yoruba Leni Lati join national team is because that population that was put together by the British in 1914, which is one of the most fraudulent things that should have been done, that shouldn't have been done rather, because putting us together in 1914 is why it is creating this bad unity among us. But you will understand that by the time where Nigeria break, we will be able to play with the other smaller nation and we can compete in the African nation and the World Cup as against everyone trying to become a footballer in Nigeria as Omo Yoruba, and you are not given opportunity. So what are advantage? Let's quickly ask Google this morning. Advantage of a country. Advantage of a country. What are the advantage of a country? And if we say a country, country, is Nigeria truly representing you as a Yoruba man, as a Yoruba woman, as a Igbo man, as an Igbo woman, or as a Biafran, or as a Arewa, or even as Fulani, or as Ishekiri, or Edo, as Nigeria literally represents you as a person, as indigenous people. We are indigenous people. We are not a tribe. We have our own culture. Tibawa nínú ilé mi nísìn tí bá sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé bá mi ṣe ìkọ́kọrẹ́, ó mọ̀ pé kò kí n ṣe oúnjẹ Hausa mo ní kó ṣe fún mi. Tí bá ní bá mi ro ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, kó wá bá mi ro iyán lé. Bí bàbá wa Pastor Adébóyè ṣe sọ pé iyán làwọn máa jẹ, ìjọ Sunday dè làwọn máa kú. Àwọ̀ tí gbàdúrà kí bàbá yẹn kú. We need him to still be alive because he's one man that is well respected around the world. So ikú kan sí lára bàbá yẹn, but tí bá ní kíyàwó mi bá mi ro pounded yam, kò ní lọ ro túwó fún mi because túwó oúnjẹ àwọn málà ni. We don't have any problem and we don't hate anybody. What we are saying is that what are the advantage of a country? Oh, Tinubu is trying to bring the policy to fix Nigeria. Nigeria will never be fixed because we do not speak the same language and we are quite different people. Nnamdi Kanu returned to court this week again. The reason why the Biafrans are saying that we are no longer interested in the unity of this contraction called Nigeria is because Biafrans are not the same as the Yoruba people or those that they call themselves the Igbo. It is the British that decided for their own selfish gain and their own selfish interest to merge us together in what is called amalgamation. And it is time now to de-amalgamate Nigeria, regardless of whether we have lived together for the last 60 years as a fake independent. Nobody gave you independence. You are still being controlled from outside the country. So when many of you say, oh, we have our independent, we are self-independent, there is nothing called independent. Mukini Bobobulich, Gani Oloyede, thank you so much as you're joining us. What you can do is just to share the program, also like it, and invite your friends to come and listen to why in 2014, according to Mr. Samson Adekunle, Nigeria died because the 1914 amalgamation expired after 100 years. It's like when you do a prototype. We have been watching Elon Musk doing all kind of prototype. Some of those prototypes have exploded, but they keep trying. We have tried 100 years of trying to see if we can live together in the fake country that was created by the Onyibo people called the British. This fake country has now created evil, bigotry, hatred, disunity, and that means that it is time now that we wind it down by coming onto the round table and decide. And as Jonathan said, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there's nothing called Nigeria. It is just a mere geographical expression, as the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo actually said. Yoruba, nobody hates Bola Tinubu, nobody hates Atiku, nobody hates Peter Obi. There would never be unity even if Peter Obi becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Likewise, if Atiku be. Even if you bring Showore, you can never get it right. So how do we first define a country? So if I say, what is a country? What is a country? So let's go with the basic. What is a country? A country is a nation with its own government occupying a particular territory. The question is Nigeria a country? Good morning, Mr. Adekunle Ramon. Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé, moki Mùsùlùmí, moki Christian, moki àwọn babaláwo, moki oníṣẹ̀ṣe. This is KOIKIMEDIA. Dash Mayor, good morning and welcome once again. My job is to educate you, Mr. Nuruddin Akimoyede Moki. Shout out to those of you on the TikTok and shout out to those of you on the Instagram. You are not sharing the program. Maybe it is not something that it is of interest. I understand the feelings of loving this country called Nigeria. But my question this morning again is Nigeria truly a country? And if it's truly a country, what is the advantage and what is Nigeria representing on you? Oh yes, what be was in way, but it is our territory. We own that territory. English people do not own the territory. I do not own this territory. I am just a foreigner that has been allowed to live in this country for 25 years because I abide by the rules and regulation of this country. What they've done in 1914, that is a crime against humanity, is bringing people that speak different languages, doesn't have the same ideology, doesn't love each other. We were just managing ourselves, and they now force it upon us, called the 1914 amalgamation. Mokiyami dada JP Esther Ewetuga Ekabo Sorieto. You are not loving it, you are not sharing it. Maybe because I don't say that before, but I will start telling you to do that now. Maybe that will encourage you. And like I said, we will not stop talking, but we will remove some of those things that probably is getting some of you angry on this platform. Because we need to be educated. I need to be educated. You need to be educated. I don't have a problem going to live in the north, and I will be somebody that wants to respect their own Sharia. But I do want to be in a country where I would then have to be behaving like a Muslim when I don't want to be a Muslim. Nigeria can never be a country. The question again this morning is, how do we define the word country? How do we define it? Kí ló ń pè ní country? What is a country? I want you to put it in the comment section. We have been told lies that we had an independence in 1960, but nobody told us that before the 1960, there was a fake identity that was forced on us. Whenever you see this on me, is one of our mother that have been spending is hard-earned currency. And our birthday is coming very soon. We're looking forward to that. I will be there to represent myself and my own family. Mokibu Yawa Elijah Adeyeye Irat, and also an honorable. She produced this, and I'll be telling you what it says. One people, one culture, one language. There is nothing called Nigeria. Nigeria literally was a country that was put together by the Onyibo people called the British Empire. Bishop Adesina, thank you so much. And Bishop Adesina will be joining us on Wednesday on the Star Radio UK to explain why we are now having Naira scarcity. As we speak today, I don't care whatever you say, we are not interested in Nigeria because Nigeria is not that country. So this Wednesday, many of you will not be able to withdraw much money because There's so much happening. But on Wednesday at Niger Voices, make sure you join our financial advisor. Bishop Adesina is a financial advisor for the Yoruba nation. You don't have to agree with it. In this country, I have been to different places where my bank will say you need a financial advisor. Financial advisor is Bishop Adesina, and he's going to be also talking about Ruba. You don't have to like it. And as I say, if Bishop Adesina even do 419 for us, we will make sure we use Interpol to go after him, and we will take whatever needs to be taken. But you must start protecting your Naira, because that Naira is falling, and it's falling very, very fast. Nigeria is never a country. Mukiba Babakende Husseini. Again, Ruba is just a payment of Bitcoin. I'm sure you understand what I mean. But Bishop Adesina will explain why we need to start moving away from the Naira, because àwọn olówó Nigeria go save owó wọn sínú Naira mo. They are pulling the Naira and changing it to dollar because the Naira continue to fall, and it's falling very fast. Don't think that Bola Tinubu will try to bring the Naira back. Nigeria is not going to be a great country. It will be an oxygen that we will remove so that the Biafra can go, the Yoruba can go, the Arewa can go, so that we will dissolve it. And it's not going to be the first time a country has been dissolved. Let's go to Soviet Union. In the 90s, there was a country that was founded on the 30th of December 1922, known as the Soviet Union. Officially, the Soviet of the Socialist Republic was a transcontinental country that spanned the much of Europe between 1922 and 1991. In 1991, Soviet Union was pulled out, was dissolved. Soviet Union was better and stronger than Nigeria as at the time, but people that were living there say we are not one, and we want to actually exit. We are not fighting each other. We are just explaining things to ourselves that no election, like I said to you, I said we should not go and vote. Many of you thought that your PVC will let you to vote. PVC doesn't give you a country. It is just a systematic way to make sure that you continue to live in that enclave and then take away your identity. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá, a kì í ṣe ọmọ Igbo, a dẹ̀ kì í ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá, a kì í ṣe ọmọ Hausa. Mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ mo kí bàbá wa, Bàbá Lẹ́kìtì, the chairman of the Yoruba World Media in Yoruba land. I am Olayomi Koiki, ọmọ Kọ́lé Yorùbá. As you can see, my beautiful kitchen, like I always say, there's nothing special in it. Even this bread, we got it like almost a week, but you can see how much I've ate out of it. Once again, Moki Bobama Yoruba Leankonsi, under the leadership of Professor Banji Akintoye, is the only leader. Yoruba, it is the country. Don't be fooled by those that are telling you that Atigba country, Ati declare. Nigeria is still a country, but it has to negotiate so that we can dissolve it. What countries were part of the Soviet Union? Do you know that nígbà tí Soviet Union tó pín, Bàbá Lẹ́kìtì ẹ bá ń farabalẹ̀ gbọ́ bí báyìí díẹ̀. Ìlú kan wà wọ́n pè ní Soviet Union. Ó ní agbára, ó ní kìmí. And somebody just said that a nation with its own government occupying a particular territory. Nigeria ò kìí ṣe country. It is just occupying our own territory. Bishop Adesina sọ pé a country is just a land area, a geographical location. In Greek pronunciation, contra, tra, C-O-N-T-R-A. Ìjẹ́ Nigeria, ìjẹ́ country ni. In 1991, while some of us were still in secondary school, àwọn àgbàlagbà kan ti mọ in tí mò ń sọ yìí, irú àwa nísìn, I was in secondary school, Abẹ́òkúta Grammar School in 1991. Do you know that in the world, somewhere far away from Africa, countries were breaking away from Soviet Union? How many countries break away from Soviet Union? But before we tell you that, let's first again ask, what is the definition of a country? And ṣé Nigeria, ṣé ìlú ni? Yes, you might say that we got independent from the British in 1960. You never got independent because you are all still under the colonial rule, directly or indirectly. Once again, my job is to educate you. Ìyá Esther Ewetuga JP, wọ́n kí Bàbá wa Lẹ́kìtì, wọ́n ní kí máa kí ti ológun tológun. Mr. Perry, good morning. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá lórí Mixlr, Ògúnmọ́lá, mo ní gbogbo ìgbà tí wọ́n ti wá sí ìlú Ìbàdàn. Ajoma lo je gunfeni. A nation with its own government. When people then ask, what is an example of a country? What does a country mean in UK? What is considered a country? What is known as a country? Àwọn èèyàn tó ń bèrè eléyìí lórí Google. So let's first see what people say. What is an example of a country? The answer and explanation. One example of a country is United States. It has its own government and land. Nigeria is not a country because what they did was Nigeria, Yoruba kingdom, Nigeria, Igbo kingdom, Nigeria, Hausa kingdom. Sorry, Nigeria, Hausa kingdom. Yeah. What the British did was very, very cunning. They were looking for source. They were looking for resources. They were looking for whatever they can do to make sure that they survive. We need to now survive, and the only way we can survive is to pull out of Nigeria. Your election in 2027 will just be as the same election that has been happening in 1959 when the British rigged the election. And what British will rig election. And the reason why some of you are thinking that the northern part of Nigeria is more than us is a lie. British rigged the first census. What for any bigger numbers? It is coming up to almost 10 a.m. in London. The weather is smiling. I can see a bit of sun, but it don't know. The reason why we look very fresh is because of the weather. Mr. Sammy, good morning. Once again, how do we then look at advantage of the country? Many say that Nigeria will be fixed by this current administration, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We don't have any problem with Bola Tinubu. We love him. We don't even pray for his death. But let me say this, Bola Tinubu is just one Omo Yoruba that is representing Nigeria, just as Obasanjo says he represented Nigeria, but he never represented Yoruba people. But when people died during the Sosoliso plane crash, Obasanjo refused to meet with the family. Maybe we should ask him that. In the economic term, a country has a comparative advantage when it can produce a low opportunity cost, that of a trade partners. While a country cannot have a comparative advantage in all goods and services, it can have absolute advantage in producing goods. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni àárín kankan produce Odutola tires, cocoa, gari production, all our land. We are not fighting for Yoruba nation because àwọn Fulani power nínú igbó. No, we want to take a total full control of the economic power of Yoruba land. Bó ṣe ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ during àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. We want to make sure that we can pull away and then we can start producing so that many of you that are not doing anything, you can become productivity and you can start doing something. Don't let the American embassy tell you that Nigeria will work while they know that we are not one. Don't let the Western world to deceive you. All their care is their own ways of communicating and pulling what they can pull out of Nigeria. So, what is the absolute advantage of a country? Advantage Lansola Moki Testimony Ogutona Moki. Good morning. Moki Yawale Konsi Alaja Irat. Additional Bishop say, but a nation is a group of people with the same ideology. Omo Yorubaniwa, same ideology. Our ideology is different from the rest of the 349 ethnic indigenous people. We can live together, we can marry together, just like I live in this part of the world. If I come out of my corridor, I don't know who is living there, I don't know who is living there, but I know that within the next 3 blocks, let's write to me, there's 2 ethnic people like myself. I want you to do me, but I don't know whether it is a real Oyinbo, because Oyinbo is Oyinbo. Most of you just see Oyinbo and you automatically think that they are all British. Some of them are Europeans. They are not full English. There's difference between the Scottish and the English, and there's also difference between the Welsh and the English. Once again, when we talk about a nation, the reason why we are calling it, we want to have our own nation so that we can first take our identity back. The backbone of running that nation. Today, they are running Nigeria with English. that literally means that it is not a nation. Because nínú country tí wọ́n sọ yìí tó jẹ́ Nigeria, it has multiple people speaking different languages. Nigeria has about 350 different languages. Èdè tí wọ́n sọ ó yàtọ̀ síra wọn. Tá bá ti gba ìlú tiwa, ta ní nation tiwa, èdè wa la máa fi kọ́kọ́ communicate. O lè lọ sí Turkey nísìn kó lọ máa fi English communicate pẹ̀lú wọn nínú banking hall wọn ní dẹ́ lóhùn. Not that they don't understand English, but in Turkey, èdè tó fi ń communicate òun ní èdè tí wọ́n sọ pé Turkey, and they call it now Turkiya because orúkọ wọn ti change. O lè lọ sí France kó wá lọ fi English communicate pẹ̀lú wọn nínú post office, èdè Faransé ló máa fi communicate. Ìwọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ Baba Bakai, one of the media guru under the Yoruba nation. O lè lọ sí Germany kó wá lọ máa sọ pé nígbà tó bá fẹ́ ṣe driving test oníkọ́bẹ̀ fi English ṣe lọ́ọ̀bì lọ́wọ́ kòwé kò yèyé dára kòwé ìwọ lọ́ọ̀bì lọ́wọ́ wọn. O lè lọ sí Barcelona kó lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ àkàlàmàgò bóyá nígbà tó bá lọ síbi iṣẹ́ láàárọ̀ á lọ máa bá wọn sọ English. He doesn't speak English tó bá débi iṣẹ́ ó máa sọ èdè pine èdè Spanish ló máa sọ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní nation. Ibi tó bá ti ń sọ èdè kan nínú ìlú yẹn ló ń pè ní nation. Ní Nàìjíríà àwọn òyìnbó yọ èdè wa kúrò wọ́n ní kájọ máa sọ English, and they deceive every one of us for the last 63 years. And today we are now saying that we've had enough of that and we're going to unplug it. But before we can do that, we need to first educate ourselves. Well, yes, we can still have trades among us. UK left European Union in 2016. They still have good bilateral relationship, security relationship, different policy. They still work to make sure that they can defend. If anybody attack UK today, the European countries will make sure that they can support UK against any threat. We can have our own nation, and we can then have a pact with even the Northern Arewa nation if we think that our pact and security will help us to stop the influx of terrorists coming from that region. The reason why America is having different pacts, like Qatar today, Qatar is a very small country in the Middle East, but it has now become the global player. Any problem that is happening around the world today, Qatar is literally being the one that negotiates. And when you look at the population of Qatar, when you look at the country called Qatar itself, the question you should be asking is, why is Qatar becoming the world player today when it comes to negotiation and supporting so many things around the world? The population of Qatar is just 2.6 million. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń gbé níbẹ̀ wọ́n ní sọ English because the Qatarians do not understand English, and they have their own mode of dressing. Today, a Yoruba man is going to the court and is wearing a suit when he should be wearing a proper native ọmọ Yoruba. But ó ṣì ń pretend bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn English ló kó wa lẹ́rú. And that is why when you go to the court in the Arab country, they don't wear suit. They wear their own tradition to go to the court where judgment will be served. But today, go to Lagos, go to Ondo, go to Ekiti, go to Oyo, ẹ lọ sí gbogbo court wa láàárọ̀. With the fake 1999 constitution, you are now seeing people wearing suit in the hot weather, and they put on a wig like that. Let's now quickly go to Soviet Union. But before we go to Soviet Union, let's talk about what is the absolute advantage of a country. But if we now say that, what is a nation? Let's go and ask, what is a nation? Nation. N-A-T-I-O-N. Kí ló ń pè ní nation? And how do we define a nation so that we can be able to start understanding? Do not be deceived that what we are fighting for is not going to happen. I am 40 plus. It will happen in our lifetime. We will unplug and we will pull down the last empire that was created by the British called the amalgamation, and we will de-amalgamate Nigeria, and we will still be friends with anyone that left Nigeria. Our politicians, well, they know what we are talking about. They are well sound. Name them. They understand it, but they are playing the game because they are part of a corrupt system supporting the Western to keep us below par. The reason why you are below par today, when you look at all these, it becomes something that is like, wow, this is nothing. The first thing is we unplug ourselves from Nigeria. We can then start, even if it's just farming, and we can move like a thunderbolt, like, Usain Bolt. How many of you remember Usain Bolt? The guy that normally runs. How many of you remember it? Speed of sound. I don't know whether it's still running. A nation is a large types of social organization where a collective identity, Muki Babakitoye, Muki Bogo, Muki YSDM, Muki, all the Yoruba platforms that are working, but if anyone doesn't respect Babakitoye, then that indicates that you have a friction with him. Babakitoye remains the leader of the self-determination. I am not talking about the leader of the Yoruba groups in Kotao, but under the self-determination that we are working with, Babakitoye remains one. Many of you can use Nigerian flag. Many of you can shout and say, go and sit down. We are Nigerians. Well, what you are saying is that you love the way that Lugard created Nigeria on behalf of you, just like they created it on behalf of your forefathers. Because what they did was they forced it on our parents, on our grandparents, and our previous grandparents, and we are now saying that let us pull out, and you still want to love Nigeria, you will love forever. Once again, so when we talk about nation, the first thing is the identity, collective identity. Everybody need the same identity. Our need same identity. Nigeria. Identity wa ó yàtọ̀ síra wọn 8 minutes past 10 a.m. Identity tá ń lò ó yàtọ̀ sí identity táwọn Igbo ń lò, ó yàtọ̀ sí identity tàwúsá, ó yàtọ̀ sí identity. There's almost 300 different identity that is now working, and then when you become a president, you then say, "Hey, ẹ fún mi ní mẹ́ta níbẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ bá ń gba méjì níbẹ̀ yẹn. Ta ló máa ṣe security?" All these, your excitement about Tinubu, it will expire in 8 years maximum. Lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́jọ, all those that Tinubu put there as Yoruba people, all that will pull out, and they will bring in a fresh new faces. But Tabatigba nation tiwa, everybody will just remain Yoruba, simple. And there will be sensitive area that nobody, not a Biafra, not an Hausa, not a Fulani, would ever take that position. This is how it is done here in UK. Even those of us that have given birth, your children will never get to some certain jobs because it is just too sensitive. It has to be for the real indigenous people. So when even you marry another tribe or another ethnic group, you will not be given a position because it is just to protect our interest. We got to protect the interest of our own nation in the future. But today, many of you want us to forget who we are and continue to work with Nigeria because you want to build road, you want to build house, you want to build a hospital. You think Nigeria will do all that for us. No, Nigeria stole our identity. And when we say we want a Yoruba nation as a country, it's because we want to pull out and take our own identity. So when I use the word nation, it is a large body of people united by one common descent, history. We have our own history. Mokiba Ayodeji Oluwafemi Ayina. We have our own history. That history means that this Ori Olokun ten wo is more than 1,000 years old than Nigeria. So you want me to forget about our history because you want us to save Nigeria. Oh, you want Nigeria to be the one controlling our culture and our history on our behalf. But it doesn't speak my language because when I go to bank in Yoruba land, they are speaking in English. I don't want that anymore. I want them to speak in Yoruba just as they will do the same thing in any country or any nation that do not speak English. I want to have a government that will present our document in Yoruba language, just as the Chinese are doing the same thing as well. Good morning, Mr. Sean. Mauritius is just 1.2 million. We can go on and on and on and tell you about countries that are smaller, but our concern is that Enyomo Yoruba àsìkò tó láti sọ pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó gbọ́dọ̀ bà wá lẹ́rù. ẹ̀rù tó ń bà yín pé tá bá kúrò nínú ilé inú bo là ń lọ, ẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rù yẹn kó bà yín. We are going into ibi tí a ti máa lè control narrative of the advantage fún wa. Nigeria will never give you the advantage. And again, like I said, somebody asks again, what is an example of a nation? A nation is a cultural identity without statehood. The nation does not govern a sovereign territory. This applies to the ethnic groups, but also religious and multi-ethnic language groups. Examples include the Jews and the Armenians. So today, as we continue our quest for the right to self-determination, the argument people are saying is that, why do you want to pull out of Nigeria when we can all come together and fix Nigeria because it is all about leadership? Well, again, you are telling me that we should work with another leader that doesn't speak my language. He will not understand. If I say to the North that we want to go to the moon, the North will say, no, we are not ready to go to the moon. Just an example. So the leadership problem that most of you talk about, is a leadership problem. We have leadership problem, and that is the reason why things are not moving as fast as you want. I do not believe in that. I disagree with that. It is not leadership problem, because those leadership problems, we still have cultural differences. We still have language barrier differences. That is why inside the Senate in Abuja today, they can never unite, because nínú bẹ̀ ni Hausa wà, nínú bẹ̀ ni Igbo wà, nínú bẹ̀ ni Fulani wà, nínú bẹ̀ ni oríṣiríṣi ìlú wà nínú ẹ̀. And you are now telling them that they should work to come and fix certain things in Yoruba land. They will not accept. This is more reason why a gbọ́dọ̀ pull out kúrò nínú Nigeria. Tá bá ti pull out kúrò nínú Nigeria, a lè gbọ́ra wa yé. And don't let anybody deceive you that ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gbọ́ra yín yé nísìnyí báwo lẹ ṣe máa gbọ́ra yín yé, because number one, èdè tá máa fi bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ òun ni èdè tá fi ń communicate yìí. English máa jẹ́ second language ní nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Èdè Yorùbá ní gbogbo tó máa lò, because that will be the instruction from the government. So you will not have to do your own. Oh yes, in today's they can tell you that Lagos is going to allow some Yoruba school to be speaking Yoruba, to be doing but it's just the basic. But this is going to go across every part of Yoruba land. Ijo taba ti gba nation tiwa. And this is the reason why we are saying having our own nation is the solution to the current crisis in Nigeria. Nigerians do not want to accept the truth because it is painful. Because most of you think that living in Nigeria, you are going to lose a lot. You are not losing anything. Trust me. You are not going to lose anything. Rather, we are going to gain a lot. We will gain a lot when we exit Nigeria. We are not going to lose anything. So don't be scared. Ema beru. Ema foya. Ema foya. Ema beru. Ijo ti a bá ti kúrò nínú Nigeria. That is when things start working for us gradually. We will become a very powerful nation of our own. Africa will not move further if the Yorubas are still stuck in Nigeria. So now, let's go into it again quickly. Let me first take us back to Soviet Union. A ti sọ fún yín pé ìlú kan wà ní 1922 ni wọ́n form ẹ̀, it was founded. Wọ́n pè ní Soviet Union. But nígbà tó di 1991, àwọn ẹ̀yà kan nínú wọn sọ pé àwọn ò ṣe pẹ̀lú ìlú yẹn mọ́ nítorí pé ó ní àwọn lára, kò jẹ́ káwọn progress. Àwọn ìlú wo ló kúrò nínú Soviet Union ní 1991? Soviet Union had 22.4 million kilometers per square. As at the time before it breaks, it had a population that was much, much bigger than Nigeria, but it still eventually break away. As at the time, Soviet Union had nothing less than almost close to 209 million people, if not even a little bit more, because even it went a little bit more, because as at 1979, the population of Soviet Union was 262.44 million. So, ladies, listen, when we talk about Soviet Union, it is just a reminder. It is just a name, but that name has been pulled out. If Nigeria fall apart today, it will become history that in 1914, there was a country called Nigeria that dissolved in so years, depending on Oduti, Nigeria backme, and it's going to happen. You might say that we are joking. Go and sit down. Tinubu is there. No. It's not about Tinubu now, okay? Forget about all this, you're sentimental about Tinubu. Tinubu is there representing Nigeria, representing APC. We pray for him. Tinubu will not be alive for another 80 years. I bet that to you. Add 80 years to Tinubu's age. It will be gone. I might be gone as well. We pray for long life for both of us. But Yoruba land will still be existing even after I have gone and Tinubu have gone. But what Tinubu is doing is his own selfish interest. Somebody say, give a peace a chance. What peace? You must be joking. I think you don't understand what you're talking. What peace? There will never be peace in Nigeria, okay? There's never been peace in the world. That is why there's so much killings around the world. If you do not want war, or if you do not want a situation to erupt in Nigeria, for us to have the peace, you must then call out of Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to work. Once again, many people that have just been born last year, they don't understand what we're talking about. They've lived in abject poverty. Your politicians have literally raped you. So understanding this kind of truth, you think this is what you'll be listening to on political channels in Nigeria? You think AIT is going to be talking like this? You think Rufai Osei will be talking like this? You think Ruben Abati, name them, TVC, channels, whatever your platform in Nigeria, you think Oriyomi Hamza will be talking like this? No, they're not going to talk like this. I am the only one that can talk like this because that is the truth and nothing but the truth. There's nothing called Nigeria, and Nigeria will never be peaceful until we break up, just like Soviet Union was never peaceful until it dissolved. And if you don't know the Soviet Union, they call it also USSR. What countries were part of the Soviet Union? There was 15 countries that pull out of this country called Soviet Union or USSR. Moke Odun Chicago, in KOIKIMEDIA, Otojometa. These countries that pull out are called Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia. Do you know that those countries that I'm calling today have now become an independent country, independent nation, away from when they were part of the Soviet Union? They are building their own nation. I feel build in Nigeria, but you are telling yourself a complete lie. Nobody can ever build Nigeria. If you like, build a mansion like E-Money. E-Money cannot go out on his own because of the insecurity, even in his hometown. Not even talking about Lagos. But when it comes to London, he goes on his own without any kind of security. So most of you that are building empire in Nigeria, you are wasting your time because Nigeria is not going to give you the advantage of a nation. A nation is what speaks the same language. So let's talk about more countries that came out. Georgia came out of Soviet Union. Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, that is fighting now between Ukraine is fighting as we speak right now with Russia, and also Uzbekistan. Now let's talk about one of those countries that came out. One of the countries that came out of this union. The same way Nigeria will break, whether you like it or not. Let's go and look at Latvia. Latvian War of Independence. In 1918, the Latvian War of Independence, sometimes called the Latvia Freedom Battle. You fight for your freedom. Nobody, no Jesus Christ is coming, no Muhammad is coming, no Isheshe is coming. It is the people that fight, just as The Mau Mau fought the British for 13 years because they wanted their freedom. King Charles refused to apologize when he traveled to Kenya almost 3 weeks ago. He says, I can't take responsibility for what my generation did then. We can move on. And they are not ready to pay any slave trade money. If you're expecting that anytime from Britain or those that carried us as slaves from our continent, you must be okay. There was something called the Latvian War of Independence. People have been fighting for the freedom. The reason why we are all in this problem is because of the European countries in 1914 that started taking land, territories, borders, destroying them. And as UK was part of that as well, for 200 years, the British Empire destroyed many territories, destroyed the borders, changed people's culture, change people's religion, give them this, give them that. Today, the British is not even tired of some of you coming into this country, and the immigration rules will become tougher. You will not be able to apply for a British passport in this country from this month if you have not lived in UK for 10 years. You will not be able to come into this country as things are becoming tougher. But remember that they created most of the problems that we are discussing today. So, we are talking because the only way that we can move forward is to pull out of Nigeria. We are literally just a few more minutes before the end of the program, but I want to talk about Latvia. How many people would love to live in Latvia than live in that shit-hole country you call Nigeria? Will you prefer to live in Latvia? Wales and Latvia played a football not too long ago. So let's talk about Latvia. I would love to live in Latvia, but the problem is that Maloko alphabet. You see, A, B, C up to Z is not what we should have been using. Ojekamalo, the Yoruba, own alphabetic to be able to prepare us to the secondary school, to the university, to wherever we are. But because English was forced on us, so every time you go to secondary school or primary school, waloko A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, W, X, Y, Z. That is a fake. We should never have used that. We should have been using the Yoruba one to prepare us for the world. So if I have to go to Latvia, I would then have to go and start afresh. That is why I don't think I want to go there. Because so when some of you wants to travel out of Nigeria, you better understand that English-speaking country, you would have to learn their language, whether you like it or not. If not, so remember that, even if you're going to Arab country. So just to take note of that. Oh, I missed the U and V. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, W, X, Y, Z. Just present, thank you so much. Latvia is a population of 1.8 million. Now, Soviet Union, that means that 2 million people precisely will be locked into a country called Russia or Soviet Union. But now that they pull out, they can run their own economy, they can run their own immigration, they can run their own police, they can run whatever. But in Nigeria today, Boboyin try lati wonu military, efe wonu this, efe wonu that. But because it is a country that was forced on us, sometimes a man bribe wonu beni. The moment we have our own Yoruba nation, we will have our own Yoruba police, Yoruba security, Yoruba MI5, Yoruba defense team, Yoruba this, Yoruba that. The same thing in Nigeria and Ileni, we will have the same thing and even well better and well equipped. Sometimes I just see what people are writing, but not every comment that we have to read out. Now, because of the time constraint, because I'm going to be on the Star Radio, it's a Monday, and this is how we start the week. Latvia. Do you know that they have their own official language called Latvian? So in Tobago Mekuro in the UK, Latvia, there's no way I can live there if I can't understand their language. Mr. Peter Pan said the Yoruba football team will compete with the best team in the world. And you're quite right. Do you know that just last week, if not the week before, I talked about it because Oshiwalori Google is streaming. So Tibafi Latvia is telling me that Latvia actually played with Wales some few weeks back. And I'll tell you that the game ended with Wales winning Latvia. Ati Wales, ati Latvia, and one méjèèjì, they are just smaller than even Ondo or Osun State. Wales played with Latvia. Ẹ wá imagine tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn Latvia ṣì wà nínú blọọkì tó ń pè ní Russia tí wọ́n ti pull out. That means pé àwọn tó lọ gbá bọ́ọ̀lù fún Latvia yẹn, àwọn 12 team yẹn, ó máa difficult láti rí 12 Latvian to play in the national team. That is why today àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá tó good gan kó tó lè wọ team nínú Nigerian soccer team. Ó máa ń pẹ́. Not that they are not there. We've seen, Rashidi Yekini. We've seen Daniel Okocha, Daniel Amokachi, the Boo. We've seen JJ Okocha. But when we now have different nations, you will have 12 squad of real Yoruba indigenous people. But today, to buy anything, you will have to think whether you want to represent in Nigeria. And that is why some of you because you want to make sure that, especially in football was the best people will not be chosen, whether they are best in Hausa that plays that football, whether they are the best in the middle belt. But the problem is to enter the national team in football in Nigeria. Ọmọ tó bá mọ babaláwo àbí àfà tó lè bẹ sín gbẹ́rẹ́ sí ẹsẹ̀ wàá jẹ mo yóò yà. There's not likely that you enter. Ẹ lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ àṣìṣà tó ń gbá football yẹn. You can be good, but you are not likely to get there. Those of you on Olayomi Koiki, we're going to end that platform and join Walori other platform that we are streaming on. We have multiple platforms. You need to find me and then you can watch again from there. Thank you so much. Once again, Moki Bugboa, I am the KOIKIMEDIA, Olayomi, the self-determination. As you saw in Latvia. So last 2 weeks, Latvia played with Wales, but Wales, win them 2-0. Now, Meloni Latvia, they are not up to 2 million. Why do you think they are playing football? It's because they are now a nation. So they have to be representing their own people. What going to represent? Lenny Nissi, I want to represent our Mr. Fad Muki. Wales and Scotland are still also in the UK bloc. Why can't we as a Yoruba as well? Even though the Welsh people, the Scottish people, they live in a bloc called United Kingdom, but they have their own parliament, just as we have it during the regional government. Don't talk about regional government because Tinubu is not going to give anybody regional government. If you are waiting for Tinubu to even give you autonomy for local government, you will wait until Tinubu exit and we'll be talking about whatever he did or whatever he has done after that in the next 8 years. By the time he completes his tenure, Tinubu will never want to break up Nigeria because he's also working for the APC. That means that he's not the only one operating Nigeria. If Tinubu come out officially and say, this country is not working, then there will be a referendum. And that referendum with Mukiba Baba Abiodun Monday, and thanks so much for the love and the support. There will be a referendum. This is the reason why the Biafrans are saying that, give us a referendum and let us decide. And then I will decide whether to go to the southeast and buy my produce from them. And if they're going to use Apapa Waterway, they will pay tax. In the EU, there is still a lot of part. There's still a lot of relationship between UK working with Northern Ireland to be able to get their goods to European country. They're still having a lot of policy. So breaking away from Nigeria does not literally mean that we would not have cordial relationship with the northern part of Nigeria, the middle belt, whoever is going away and having their own differences. Latvia has cordial relationship with so many of the people that they exit together from in the 1990s when Soviet Union break. So stop getting worried. Stop getting scared. Taba break Nigeria. There will be friction. Some of you say we are better off in one block. No, we are better off to be smaller and able to defend and protect our real identity as against trying to put ourselves and say, Koiki, oh, better Kibobuakawa. The bigger we are, the better. Nigeria is just one big elephant that has no stomach to take the real Yoruba people to our dreamland. Because what is your identity? Because so as far as we are remaining Nigerians, that means that every time I travel in any part of the world, if I don't have another passport like the British passport, the American passport, I will still be carrying a Nigerian passport under a Yoruba name. I do not want that anymore in the next future. I want to carry a Yoruba passport that represents a Yoruba name inside it. That is the difference. So the argument that we are better off, the bigger we are, we can do so much. You cannot even do nothing between African countries. Nigeria has now become a puppet within African countries, and you can go and check. So why are we trying to fool ourselves? And this goes to most of our elite. Forget about all this affair Babalola. They've chop out of Nigeria. Forget about Robert Clark. All they will do is Channels Television will bring them. Oh yeah, talk, Baba. What do you think about the 1999 Constitution? The Constitution is not working. No? It's not working. That's what they've been doing. Go to Ferry, the same thing. We are looking for a restructured Nigeria. They will do press conference. After Baba go to his house, he has a big mansion in Lagos. He has a big mansion in Ogun State. I visited his house before. Pa Agwadi Banjo. May God continue to bless him. Go and look at their children. Go and even look at Awolowo's children. They are enjoying the Nigeria today, even though that their father will be upset with the current state of Yoruba land. Go and look at Yemi Osibajo hometown. Go and look at all those Yorubas, even the late Oba Alaafin, that I was privileged to see him one-on-one with Igboho. I know so many things he said to me, it is not for public consumption. Nobody was there, and it is not 3 times, it's not 5 times in his private residence. While we were there, one monolo, Monica BS, what monolo, generator on the scene in the palace of Yoruba land. Shewale monolo ni Buckingham Palace. This is part of what we say. But so many things he said to me and Oloye while we were there is not for public consumption. But he says, and I quote, Yoruba bodo daduro gege bi orile-ede. That's all I can tell you. He told me that before he died. I was there. Konjepe was for me. I met Alaafin Oyo Ikuba Bayeye. Not once, not twice. And we met in different places within Ibadan and Oyo. So don't tell us what we don't know. Now, before we start winding down, Latvia, it is one of the 3 Baltic states, along with Estonia to the north and Lithuania to the south. So when Yoruba break away from Nigeria, we will be saying Yoruba nation towards the southeast of Biafra land. And further down to the side of there is to the Arewa land, further down there, and we will protect and defend our borders away from the current state of what Nigeria is today. The question is, what has been the advantage of Nigeria? Kí ni advantage in Nigeria? Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bàbá wa Adékúnlé Ramon, èdè Yorùbá, èdè tó wà pani. Èdè tí wọ́n máa fi kọ́ṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Nigerians must start waking up. We are not here to fight each other. It might take some time to pull it down. Oh yes, I don't have a problem with that. But that process must start now. But for anybody to come and be saying, we are on the Twitter space, Tinubu rigged the election, we don't go agree. This, forget that nonsense. So if you are Biafrans, go and line up and follow the Biafra. If you are Yoruba, line up and follow Yoruba Nation. If you are Arewa, line up. All these, we go. You can shout from now. Tinubu is a drug dealer. Forget her. He's the president. Tinubu, education is not good. Forget her. At the end of the day, Buhari never had education. The real koko tó wà nílẹ̀ nísìn fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ni pé ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bá àwọn olóṣèlú wa sọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní Yorùbá fẹ́ dá dúró, ṣé a lè dá dúró, and hear the truth from them. Ṣé Yorùbá lè dá dúró? Kí ló dé tá ṣe wá wà nínú abẹ́ Nàìjíríà? This and that. Nigeria does not have anything to offer anybody. Caricature politicians. Everybody, come, go chop your own. Go and look at Laolu Akonde. I don't hate any one of these names that I'm mentioning. I am just telling you, Laolu Akonde has become a political analyst on Seun Okinbaloye. He's now wearing a different outfit. You will never even remember that he was one of Osibajo boys that write for him. He don't chop his own money. Go and look at Reno. Every day he's posting on the X space. Hey, defending Tinubu, blasting Obi, saying Obi is a liar. Arise TV is a liar. He has so much money because he worked under Jonathan. So all this friction that we are fighting each other on the social media as Nigerians, what we should be talking about now is how do we come on the round table and discuss whether everybody wants to live together. There is no way you can stop me. Neither there is no way you can stop the government in exile under the leadership of Mazi Simon Ekpa. There's no way you can stop any one of us. If the rest are not interested, we will continue to cry out, we will continue to talk, and we will continue to insist that we must discuss the unity of this country, whether I, as a Yoruba man, I want to remain as a Nigerian or not, or as a Nigerian rather. So I would rather, like I said, even go and live in Latvia and start afresh than come and live in Nigeria, because Nigeria does not respect the value that I want as a Yoruba man. I am not saying that we should break in a way that it will create amenities among us. We can do it in a way that nobody lose out. Oh yes, okay. We have how many people living here? When the UK was exiting EU, the European countries told the UK that all their citizens living here must be respected, and they agreed. It was an immigration policy. The immigration from the European countries came, they talked to the immigration people here, they said, okay, they have the numbers. How many people, Tojamo EU, lives in UK? I'm talking about in 2016. They knew the numbers. They said, okay, the ones that are living here, this is going to be the rules. But the ones that are coming, this is going to be the rules. So whoever is living presently in Yoruba land today, whether they buy house, whether they don't marry, they have business, we will make sure that they are protected under the Yoruba government. But the one way is coming again, we will make sure that they go through rigorous immigration, just like when you want to travel, you know how you know they do it. Make we not go that area. Because if you want to go to America now, you know the person where you go call, the one where you go do, the one where you go add 2 to 2, and sometimes they say, oh, Mr. John, why are you going to America? I just want to go and see Chinedu. Chinedu is there on holiday. They say, no. Why not go to the north? I'm just joking now. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Let's look at the Latvia GDP. It's a small country, so don't expect too much from me. But let's look at their GDP. In 2021, we talk with numbers, we talk with statistics here on this platform. My name is Olami Koiki. If this is your first time, why not share it? Just say to somebody that there's a guy called KOIKIMEDIA. You know, we don't like him, but he talks something that says maybe we should break away from Nigeria. Do you think that that one makes sense? Let me say it again. No embassy representing any country is representing your interest. Make I tell this you very well. Make I tell you now this one. Make I speak the kind broken English way me I understand. All these ambassadors where they Nigeria, they are not for your own interest. They are representing their country interest, and whatever their country is sending to them to talk is what they will talk. Hey, just say to Nigerians that election is the best. That's what they will say. That is why Katrina Lang, the former UK High Commissioner, and the one that come from America, you know, these are the big ones. So these are the ones that will be coming on the media. Go and get your PVC. Don't listen to Simon Ekpa. Don't listen to Sunday Igboho. Don't listen to Babakitoye. Don't listen to Nnamdi Kanu. These people want to destroy Nigeria. Nobody is destroying Nigeria. They've left now with their kangaroo. They've gone to another place. While you are still there, fighting each other. Religious bigot. Hey, Igbo, wait, Igbigi. Awusa were Igbigi. We are fighting each other almost every day. That should not be the situation. We can literally say, okay, Awusa, Fulani, you want to bring cow to Yoruba land. No problem. How many cows they bring? We will stay at the border. We will make sure we tag those cows. We will take them to ranch. They will be paying tax for Yoruba government. But today, Buhari gave them opportunity to come in. I don't know why Tinubu is not working quickly to protect Yoruba land and protect Igbo land, protect Middle Belt, protect the Hausa, protect the whoever needs to be protected. Because it was Buhari that said all the terrorists around the world, make una they come Yoruba land, they get boku grass. Our grass are very good. We have water. They full our side, destroy everything. Why are they not destroying Dangote project in Lagos? It's because we know the value of that project. But the same other Fulani terrorists are destroying our own farmland, destroying our own project. And this is why we are saying this is now becoming too much. Plus other things. That means that let us pull out. 39.85 billion US dollars was what Latvia took as GDP, a population of 1.8 million. Look, if we have Yoruba land, don't tell me that it can happen. It is your governor that is not. Yeah, agreed. All our governors are the ones stealing the money. Let us have Yoruba nation, have a Yoruba constitution, have a Yoruba government in place, and let those politicians steal money. If you steal money in this country, I will personally take you to court, and you must come to the court. And if you also found guilty, you'll be going to prison, just like Ike Ekerimadu. God spare my life and your life. We will be bringing back the Izani to the court in November, and whatever happened, everybody will know. This is how a country and people work. You will never get justice in Nigeria. I know some of you are crying for justice every day. I pray you get it, but I don't see it coming. Dele Giwa, no justice. Tolulope Arotile, no justice. Uncle Bola Ige, no justice. Mohbad that just died, no justice. Anyonwola Bamishe, no justice. Many Boku Biafra, they don't kill those ones. Plenty. Buhari the sadist. Buhari that hates the Igbos. That he told them that, I hope you don't forget 1967. But today is no longer 1967. We are now in a new era, the breed of the new generation that are communicating, and they are determined, they are buoyant, they are ready, and nothing can stop us. Not even UK can stop us, not America can stop us, not United Nations can stop us. Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing today is just the beginning, and I hope the federal government is listening. Make sure you sit down with the Biafrans so that we can easily start saying whether they should be with us or they should go. You cannot hold Nnamdi Kanu and think that the Biafra will not activate. They would activate, and whatever the activation is, no Yoruba should come out and say rubbish because it's Tinubu that is there. Tinubu is not Buhari. Tinubu should have diplomatic channel to start talking with Biafrans so that they can release Nnamdi Kanu. We will be monitoring what is going to happen within the next few days, God's willing. Don't joke with the Biafrans. Nobody can stop Simon Ekpa. Nobody can stop KOIKIMEDIA. Nobody can stop the Yoruba nation. We are not joking. We are serious about it. I will make sure I use my platform to educate Yoruba people. They will wake up and they will ask questions. I am not telling anybody to carry weapon, but this, my mouth, I will use it to pull the oxygen out of Nigeria. My name is Alami Koiki. Have a very good morning. Join me on the Star Radio UK. Bye for now.